GZW. I think bunch of top tier collectors right now in Asia.
Did I stream on YouTube? Okay,
it's a live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, it will be a live stream on YouTube soon. Don't worry about it. Let's see.
GZW.
I'm on YouTube.
Okay, Sega.
I'm on YouTube.
Is there another?
Yeah, say hi to Eraser, Li Shufu. Okay.
His name
Hey.
is Eraser.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Sega. Yeah. She just learned about crypto. I think Bitcoin. Did you still remember what I discussed the other day?
Wow. That's a real Web3 generation, right?
Don't worry. Next time when you watch YouTube, I'll give you full time.
His name is actually Eraser.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's so?
Oh, we're on YouTube.
Okay. Don't worry. Sega. Okay. I'm going to start right now. Okay. You can watch our YouTube later.
Why just stay frozen?
Because I just froze it. Otherwise, it pauses. Yeah. Okay. Everybody watching. Okay, please. Jin, I think we are good on YouTube now. It's just probably 1 minute delay. So really sorry about that. Just a little bit experience for us. And sorry for that, Eraser. So we can start right now.
Yeah, sure.
Probably let me just actually probably start with the introduction of Mozart and is it?
Who's the
Hey.
host? Is Eraser the host?
No.
It's his name.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Yes.
You got disconnected a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I got disconnected and connected again. Don't worry. Let's start. So Moledao is a supporter for the community, so that we want everyone who has a passion about crypto. We're going to help you through this journey from 0 to 1 and 1 to 10. Hopefully to bring you to the next unicorn in the crypto. In general, we do 2 types of support. Education, we try to do some workshops, courses, and some learning quizzes on our website and community. In addition, we're trying to host hackathons. In that way, we're trying to see who has the passion and also the skill set to take challenges, trying out some innovations in the projects, etc. So just to let everybody know, we have recently launched our second hackathon, and it's themed NFT. So anything you feel interested or your friends, just let them know. Please follow us on YouTube and Twitter channel. Just search for Moledao. Sorry. Mo, if everybody knows about it, our mission is trying to build and grow. So Mo is really a small, cute animal, as you've probably seen on our logo. It's trying to really digging out. So that's what we see, as most of the developers actually really need a lot of help. And it's a dog community. We're trying to get everybody together. So much for the Moledao. And I really want to introduce our guest speaker today, who is Eraser. So he is the founding partner of SevenX Ventures, and they have done a tremendous, I would say, investments in the crypto world. And personally, I've talked to Eraser for probably in the last 1 year or close to 1 year, 3 or 4 times on different occasions. What impressed me a lot is Eraser has a very deep faith in crypto. It's not just about Bitcoins, which usually coming from the mining community, crypto mining community. He has a lot more deeper understanding in terms of the blockchain could help the human organization, the human world, and the NFT particularly. If you happen to know that Eraser's wife, Riva, has been very famous in terms of NFT design and generative arts, right? If that's the correct pronunciation. Yeah. If you search for the Winter Olympic, she is the main designer for that project. So if I miss anything, there's a lot of projects. I mean, 7X, if you go to their website, is probably I would say the leading, Asia-based venture capital for about 3 to 5 years, 3 to 4 years, right?
Yeah, thanks so much, Hal. So yeah, thanks for the introduction. So yeah, glad to be here. Actually, we have been friends from like 1 year before, right? So basically, love what you guys are doing at the Moledao. So definitely, SevenX is a venture that actually want to support early entrepreneurs, and we are kind of like a I was a entrepreneur lover, right? So no matter how early you
Perfect.
are, yeah, no matter how early you are, no matter how wild or how like we will love the imagination of your creativity. So basically anything, any ideas, any tech or anything you want to do in the Web3 world, let us know about it. We can definitely contribute together with Moledao. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you for your kindness and your really inspiration to everybody. So, my friends in the community, if you really feel want to get involved, do get in contact and follow us on the either Twitter or YouTube. And hopefully you can join our hackathon. And I would definitely invite you to be one of our judges, and you can get really valuable feedback, hopefully fundings in the later stage. Okay,
Yeah.
So let's start with NFT, Razor.
Yeah.
I know NFT has been there probably a couple of years from your experience. I know this is not just a new idea, but for me as
Yeah.
a newbie, I mean, I only got it in since last year. It seems a little bit new after
Yeah.
I slightly understand about what is, say, crypto, Ethereum, and then DeFi. Oh my gosh, there's another thing called NFT. Is
Yeah.
this another scam? so could you just share me a little bit about your journey into crypto and also how you see the NFT
Yeah.
from your early stage? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, actually my story to crypto actually I would say from my own perspective, I still find it interesting. So before crypto, I actually worked in Africa for 6 years. So a lot of different
Wow.
countries like Nigeria, Angola, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, a lot of African countries, and
Yeah.
we did a lot of things there. Because back then I was working for one of the biggest, national owned or state owned company in China called Sinopec, and
I
we did a
see.
lot of building, a lot of investments in the
Yeah.
Asian. In the African, region, and
Yeah.
in there, I experienced a lot of, I would say, two different things that I never experienced before because
Yeah.
I grew up in China, had
Yeah.
my university in China, my master in North America in Canada, right? And
Yeah.
I spent a different time times in
I
different
see.
geographic regions, different culture. But it's the first time in history in Africa I experienced something that is a fiat currency collapse. Never experienced that before. For China, the fiat currency is
Oh.
actually very strong, right? And North
Yeah.
America, advanced countries or developed countries, actually, their fiat currency is okay. But in
Yes.
Africa, I would say maybe 2/3 of the country's fiat currency is not stable at all. So I experienced two
That's right.
major
Yeah.
collapse. One in Nigeria, that's back in 2014 to 2015. So the Naira itself actually crashed for, let's say, 30 something, 30 to 40% in only 1 month. So
Really? Wow.
yeah, so actually give us a shock, especially, when we do investment there, when we do, a lot of building there.
Yeah.
So basically actually
That's right.
eats up all my company's profit, because of the
Oh, I
collapse
see.
of the
I
currency.
see.
So yeah, so I was like, okay, I never saw it before. I never studied said, okay, money, what is money? So why a fiat currency in money could collapse? So I'm from like a computer science background, so I happened to learn about Bitcoin, about blockchain, from a white
Yeah.
paper, so actually from a friend, and friend sent me white papers of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So back
Yes.
then I was like, okay, maybe it's just a scam, right? But after I
Mm.
experienced the currency collapse, I think,
Yeah.
okay, is there any other way of of defining what is money, right? So
Yes,
okay,
that's right.
so
That's right.
when I learned about the Bitcoin's white paper and Ethereum's white paper, I finally realized, wow, this is something I've been looking for. So I
Wow.
quickly quit my job and joined my friend's company as a VC from 2016 to 2017.
I see.
And we made several successful investments, including like Huobi.com, Tron, the Neo, a lot of other, first
I
wave
see.
of blockchain projects coming out from China.
Yes.
And to be honest, we experienced a lot of failure too, especially when you're long enough in this industry. You must have already must remember the biggest bearish market during 2018 2019, right? So
Yeah,
it's winter.
that's the history. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was winter and cold as hell. I'll have to say that. So no entrepreneurs entering the space, no investors are giving give money,
No.
actually no liquidity at all. So for the trading
Yeah.
volumes, so it's like
Yeah.
history
Almost dead, right?
low. Yeah. So basically we learned that crypto is not only just a bunch of people going out for some ideas and try to catch the hype. We really believe that as an investor, we should bring more value to the community, to especially entrepreneurs. So that's why in 2020 we decided to begin a new journey. That's 7X. And as for the NFTs, so people knows that I'm kind of like a art lover, right? So I actually collect some art before NFT space, NFT industry, and also I'm a huge independent music fan. So also like operate a underground independent music label, signing bands. They have to release
I remember.
albums. Yeah. So that's why when I first see the term NFT, and the first NFT I saw is actually CryptoPunk. No, not CryptoPunk. It's actually CryptoKitties. Yeah, that's way before.
CryptoKitties.
Yeah, it's CryptoKitties.
That was which year?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017 to 2018, around that time. Yeah. And I say to myself, wow, it's just it's very, I would say back then the art is not so, it's just so, the art of it is just so.
That's right.
And I say to myself, okay, it's maybe a new version of assets to me, right? So back then, for example, if you want to own something virtual assets, you cannot prove that you actually own that, or every virtual assets you own is controlled by a centralized entity. For example, the weapons you have, the skin you have in a game, or let's say the different backpack you have in a game, right? So definitely I just say to myself, okay, so we are entering this decentralized world. So NFT must be a very great opportunity for especially artists, designer, or musicians to actually release their digital art or digital, let's say digital work, and maybe try to sell them to the collectors, to the audience, right? So basically I actually had my first NFT, a CryptoKitty back in 2000, I can't remember, 2018, right? And back then, because this long, 2 years of bearish market, nobody actually, take interest in that specific area.
That's kind of become a little bit, I would say, dead for 2 years until last year, is it?
Yeah, no, I would say until the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021. So that's, I would say, definitely in history, we call it the NFT spring. Like we have like DeFi summer, right? So NFT spring. NFT spring is actually I would say started by NBA Top Shot. I have to admit that. I'm not a huge sports fan, but NBA Top Shot is the first project in history that brings so many Web2 people to Web3, and they actually gave the first chance of so many people to actually own a piece of NFT. And those people, those users, those NFT owners, they are not even DeFi users or crypto owners. A lot of NBA Top Shot owners is new to the industry. So the first thing they got is the NBA Top Shot without Bitcoin, without Ethereum, without even USDT. So
I see.
So that's very, very interesting. So I would say that Dapper Labs plays a very important role of introducing the NFT to the world by Crypto Kitty and also by NBA Top Shot, right? So that's basically the history and what happened after NBA Top Shot. I think everyone knows about it. The first wave is actually, those 1-1 super rare, crypto art, right? So back then we have like 3 big crypto art trading platform, super rare, non-origin, and maker's place, right? So basically that's the first wave of, okay, wow, a crypto artist, so-called crypto artist. Back then crypto artist is not a job, right? So it's just a new term invented to describe those
people I know,
artists, right? Digital artists. So so what comes next is actually Beeple, right? So Beeple's first 500 day, give a shock to almost all the people in crypto and non-crypto. So
that's right.
I remember back in the day, when the Beeple's work becomes like one of the most expensive art pieces in the world, and a lot of friends from like traditional art space called me and say, like, what the heck? What is this? Tell me, explain me.
What's going on, right?
They don't understand it. And I would say that, okay, you can regard it as a new invention. Like, if you are familiar with art history, you can say that, okay, maybe the new NFT art is like something we invent print, right? Printing. Like before printing, all the artists have to hand drawn a lot of things, right? A lot of art pieces on a piece of paper, or some like rocks, or let's say ceilings of a church, right? So after printing, that comes the what do they call it? A pop art, right? So that's started by Andy Warhol, right? And they use this printing machine, right, to print his art, right? And like back then in 1960s, a lot of people don't understand, well, why can we call a printing, a print, we can call it art? So it's just a copy, right? Just no, not from the artist himself even. So a lot of Andy Warhol's art is actually printed by his assistant, and then he was signed on the piece of paper. So that's I would say a different new paradigm of how you express art, how you actually come to a new world that, especially for Generation X right now, for the younger generation, right? So they basically don't want to own anything that is material in a space, in our world, right? So everything they own, they want to actually own virtual goods or virtual
version.
Virtual version of everything. So I think NFTs actually may satisfy the need of the Generation X. So that's why right now a lot of, I would say, great collectors in the NFT space or great artists in the NFT space coming out from the younger generation. Like a lot of them are only like 20 years old, 22 years old, right? So so that's very interesting, also very exciting.
We are kind of OGs, right? I mean,
we're too OG here. Yeah, we're too OG. I would say too old here. Yeah, too old. And when I participate in those communities about like winning white lists, about joining their the new collections, Discord.
All right.
I cannot even they spend like a couple of hours to draw something or to talk with the community in order to win a white list, right? So I'm
I know.
too old for that, and I'm still too tired for that.
I know, yeah.
spend enough time on
It's
that.
it's really, I mean, I totally agree. I've tried to look at one of the cases. I try to see if, okay, I'm going to stay up night until midnight trying to get a white list and mean something, okay? Because the profit could be really huge in terms of percentage. But later find out it's only like 1 or 2 ETH, right? So I mean, the overall profit amount, does it really worth, I mean, my kind of like sacrificing the, if we got something else as an option, probably yes. But for young people, they generally stay late. So and they feel they are doing something great, innovative, and proud to share with their friends, etc.
Yes, that's the community feeling. Actually, I would say I love this feeling of people joining together, doing things together and draw different versions of that RT. So I definitely love this. But it's only that I'm too old to actually work for that, right? So I just imagine that if like 10 years before, definitely I will work all night to get a whitelist. Right?
I know. Yes. Hopefully, next 10 years there will be a slightly better way of minting NFTs. I mean, I don't know. Yes, that's really, I think, a very, very interesting story. Hearing you from the experience in Africa. I mean, seeing the fiat currency collapse. I know it's probably kind of like really shocked in the face of you, right? I mean, you're just the country which you're doing work, or I mean, have a life for multiple years, and suddenly the value of the currency assets just dropped in a month, and brought you into the belief of Bitcoin and NFT, which you later have some, I would say, art and in general appreciation of the arts and the music, which easily can get you into understanding this. That's really, really fascinating. I mean, we don't really have, I mean, the luxury of having your kind of experience to have such early exposure into crypto, but hopefully we are not too late yet. What do you think?
Yeah, no one is actually too late. Right now, still we're in a very, very early stage of both crypto and NFT, especially in NFT.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great. So I mean, that's why, I mean, I think we are holding this NFT hackathon, which is just launched last Monday. I mean, this Monday. This is a Friday, right? So we are looking for all the, I would say, ambitious young people to join us. If you don't have a team, don't worry, just sign up, and we'll try to match you with someone else. If you already have a team, feel free to join. And there will be a lot of workshops and community events, as well as presentations and show feedback from all those experienced IP raisers today from 7X Ventures. Thank you. How about, I mean, let's probably shift the topic a little bit. As you've been seeing all this market from your personal and investment, what has actually changed in the NFT market? I mean, I'm coming from this angle, okay? So I see the market correction in the cryptocurrency, okay? Probably since November peak, we are seeing 30 to 45% drop, depends on the coins you're talking about. But the NFT, of course, the price, liquidity, that's one part, but the volume actually keep going up, particularly in January, February, and I think the number of participants, etc., has been also going up. Are we seeing something different from this, or is this something that is going to be different from the bear market which you have experienced in 2018?
That's a very good question. Actually, I would say each of the bearish run or the each of the bear run or the bull run actually has like unique different features or unique different reasons. So I would say right now for the NFT, like the NFT is still, I would say, in the bullish market, right? For it's the whole NFT market. But I think the one reason that support this bullish market is that the traders or the collectors actually are not coming from the original crypto space. So
I see.
Yeah, so for example, some of the greatest collector I know from my personal life, actually they're like I described, they're young people, right? Like newly graduated from university or from master degree, and they don't have experiences in like investing into cryptos. or investing into, let's say, ICOs or all those, altcoins, or,
Right.
different techs, different layer 2 solutions,
Yeah.
different, ecosystem of layer 1s. They don't have that
Sure.
kind of experiences. And
Yeah.
to be very honest, that to invest into a coin
Yes.
actually need a lot of other knowledge rather than just analyze of the market or analyze of the art. For example, if
I
you
see.
want to invest into, let's say, Polkadot ecosystem, right? So you need to understand what is the basic tech about Polkadot, why parachains,
Yes.
right? How to do crowd loan, and why is this EVM compatible? Which one is not EVM compatible? Which one is EVM compatible? So you have to understand all of those things, right? And you need to check out what is the tokenomics, why the teams are so good actually to invest. But for NFTs, it actually gives ordinary people, or I would say ordinary participants, to understand a market. For example, if you try to collect a piece of art, or a piece of collectibles in the NFT space, all you need to do is actually to look at the art and think that, is this something you like? And also in NFTs, there's another thing that is, for example, you cannot fall in love with a coin, with an NFT, with a fungible token. Yeah, so all you do, of all of your investment in the fungible token space, is you want to making money from it, right? But in the NFT space, there's another part, is the relationship between you and the token. So you really love the art. You don't actually care about, okay, I bought it.
That's a very good point.
Like one ETH, and it will go up to like 5 ETH, and I will sell it. No. So that actually gives a more stabilized, pricing mechanism for the NFTs.
Yeah.
Because in a secondary market of trading an FT, I have faith in one point, but when I see a drop, a price drop, and the thing is that, okay, I'm a little bit worried about, okay, is the tech also always successful? Is the team, is there something bad happened to the team? Okay, so when people are dumping the coins, maybe the choice of yourself is keep dumping with them, right? You will dump. But for NFTs, if you see some collectors are dumping this NFT, but you really love the art, you won't be dumping together with them. You will keep on, holding it, or keep on maybe buying more from the secondary market. So it actually create a balance in the secondary market of the NFTs. And I think that's two main reasons. One is it actually brings a lot of people from outside, let's say from non-crypto space, right? Those NBA stars, those movie stars, those musicians, those sports stars, right? They all actually started to buy new NFTs, because NFTs to them are kind of like a represents their image, public image on a social network, or on maybe an inner circle of some
to show off something, to show off their friends, right?
Sure. And and also I think that's a huge buying power from outside the community. And also the second reason is that because you have a unique kind of link with the individuals and also the NFTs, so definitely give you a lot of other, like a stabilizer on the price of secondary market.
That's right. Okay, that's very interesting. I mean, this is a very interesting point, which is, I think Eraser has clearly pointed out. These new type of investors or collectors, they are not from traditional crypto world, which firstly, they probably have not experienced that bear markets before, right? And they don't really have that fear. Firstly, it's a small ticket money for them, right? And secondly, this emotional effect and the relationship with this art, whether someone else like it or not, doesn't matter. They just like it. I want to hold it. It doesn't really represent kind of like my assets going up or down. Of course, better to go up, right? No one hates money. But if it goes down, I still like it, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's just like we're keeping our diaries, whatever we written many years ago.
Yes,
we don't really
exactly.
care whether this can be sold for a lot of money or not, but still that's have emotional fact. Wow, this is very interesting. So how would you see, I mean, NFT as far as, I mean, I'm just looking at a few data, right? So NFT in terms of total market of the crypto, which is crypto probably 2.5 trillion, up and down, and NFT is still probably less than, I would say, 10% of it in terms of total value, is it?
Yeah.
And you just mentioned whether in crypto world or anything, I think said by one of your founding partner as well, Mr. Liu, which I met earlier in Singapore. He told me everything is either FT or NFT.
Yes.
Virtual or digital or reality doesn't matter. It's either FT or NFT. So in general, what I see, NFT is more than FT, right? FT is just use the kind of like whatever the denomination, trying to give a price for those NFTs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So does that mean we have a lot more potential for the NFT market to expand?
Exactly. That's like what Mr. Liu told you about is something like a consensus, like in our SevenX Ventures. And like even 1 year before, you know, a lot of other people ask me about, okay, what is your investment strategy? Like what sectors are you looking at? Right. So a lot of other investors may say NFT as a sector, but to me, I will not regard NFT as a separate sector of my investment.
Wow.
You know, why is this? Just trying to, you know, follow the logic, right? So if let's say if NFT is a sector, then on the contrary, FT is also a sector.
Yeah,
right. So that's
right.
logic, because
makes sense,
contrary, right? So NFT as a sector, then you must have heard that FT is a sector, but you never heard of any investors when you ask them, okay, which sector you are investing in? He said FT.
No one said
that, right? So so that's why actually we don't regard NFT as a separate sector. But right now, for nowadays, for this day, right? So NFT only is like we have like two different, I would say, definition of NFTs. One is the broader definition. The broader definition is what we aim for in the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years maybe. But right now, the narrow definition of NFT is actually digital art, digital collectibles, digital land, or digital assets you own in a metaverse, or maybe digital in-game assets, right? So it's very narrow.
Right.
This definition is very narrow. It only represents, I would say, like you said, 10%. Right now, the NFTs market cap is only 10% of the whole total cryptocurrencies. But right now, all those use cases of NFT, like I said, art, collectibles, you know, virtual land, virtual assets, are only representative for only 10% of the total potential of NFTs. So just imagine, in the future, we live in a virtual world, right? We live in metaverse. So look around, maybe the new metaverse will look a little bit like the world right now you are living in. So when you count, like FT can be like mapped into our real world as money or stocks. Right? Because money and stock, or let's say debt. Right? So those are FTs in the real world. But NFT is everything, right? So everything you own is a material, right? So I have a box of matches here. So my box of matches is not the same with some other brand matches. Right? It's not from different. It's different from, like, this is a Hilton match, right? So it's definitely different from a Marriott match, right? So everything in the crypto space or in the metaverse can be represented by NFTs. So just imagine how big it will be, right? So right now we only use NFT to represent art and collectibles. So just imagine later on you will use NFT in, for example, in finance, right? Uniswap History already showed us a great case of of how you could use NFT in a trading, DEX, right? So all the Uniswap V3 LP token are definitely NFT token, not FT tokens, right?
That's
the first
true. That's true. Yeah.
right? Yeah,
From
yeah.
that definition is NFT.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And just imagine, okay, for the total, like look around about the world's real estate market, right? It's huge. But you can imagine that later on in the metaverse, the real estate market is even bigger. Maybe I would say,
Yeah.
if you compare it to a real world, real estate market. So I would say all the real estates, the only thing that can represent a virtual real estate is NFT, because each of the house, each of the land, like, or for example, if you buy two different floors on a virtual building, it's two different floors. You cannot replace the floor 10 with floor 9, right? So it's all NFTs. And think about transportation, think about cars, for example, right? So right now, all the world's cars are actually NFTs, because you cannot find two same car. Why I say this? For example, if you're driving a Toyota, right, and somebody is actually driving the same Toyota, same brand, same color, same year, right? But there's a difference, that is the miles you already drove.
Exactly.
Right? Maybe you drove about like 10,000 miles, but another car drove about 10,001 miles, right?
Yeah.
So
just you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just you mentioned this example brought me to one of the, I think, a famous quote by an early Greek philosopher. I forgot the name, but he said, the same human cannot step in the same river at the same time twice. Something like that. Which means the moment you do something, it's already changed within itself. And which brought him to me. I think yesterday, Thursday night, we did another Twitter space talking about NFT 2.0, which is something has been, I think, developing. Underground has been really expanding to a much broader, I would say, I think in terms of the markets and also the participants. Is this something, I mean, in terms of your understanding, very different from the first version of this Crypto Kitties or Punks?
I would say, actually, people in this space love to describe things using like 2.0, 3.0, 4.0.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like just
but
the words, right?
See, actually, a NFT 2.0 is coming. So like, it's people always want to give a new type of species actually a new name, right? So for example, DeFi 2.0, or right, or Web 3.0, something like this, right? So I don't see that. I don't see a NFT 2.0, but I see the different future of, I would say, different types of NFT if you compare it to today, right? So right now, like I said, the different types of NFTs, collectible is definitely the biggest type, like CryptoPunks, like Moledao Club, right? All those pieces, right? And art is the second largest one. Right?
Yes.
Like ArtBlocks, my wife did like some one art, like super rare or no origin. Those platforms are offering, and maybe the third one is coming up, is the virtual land. You see, more and more metaverses are coming out. So the first step of establishing a new metaverse is selling the land, or if it's not the land or space, right? Or even like yesterday, I saw another new metaverse. They are selling planet. Not even land, because they sell different planets, right? So it's a really like a multi-universe kind of gaming, right? So, and the fourth one is actually not the fourth one, but like in volume, they may become the biggest one, is actually the in-game assets. So axes, right? A lot of different axes, like all the equipments you need, all the weapons you need in the play to earn game. They're all NFTs, right? So
NFTs,
right now, I would say right now you can see at least 4 different types of NFTs. But in the future, I would say 1 to 2 years, you will see a lot of different other use cases for NFTs. For example, some NFTs can be related to our real world, real life. Yeah. For
That's
example,
right.
if you are doing a kind of a, let's say, car rental space, a car rental business, or car rental related financial service, right?
Okay.
So what you can do is actually you release an NFT for different real cars you own in a company, and
I
actually
see.
you can
Okay.
sell it on a secondary market, or even you
Yeah.
can use a smart contract to collect the rental fee from a existing NFT, and it
By the
doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's cool.
and it
I
doesn't
think
matter if you own this car physically, right? If you own the NFT, which means that you own the cash flow that is injecting into an NFT constantly, right? So
I see.
no matter
I
if you
see.
could keep the key of the cars, right? But if you own the car's NFT, which means that if they pay you in crypto, if they pay you from a kind of like a smart contract, channel,
Yeah.
which means that you can collect all the money or all the, let's say, the interest from that
Yes.
NFT, right? So you in there, that's only a very simple, I would say very simple business model. But in there, you can develop a lot of different things. For example, let's say a derivative from a like a debt plus interest kind of financial derivatives that's created from a car rental business, right? So it can be represented by NFTs, right? So that's
Have
another
you seen
very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting idea. I mean, have you seen such a project?
Yeah, we already some American projects, some European projects are already doing things like this, and also from like car rental, from real estate, from even corporate finance, some corporate debts or corporate, notes are issuing in an NFT kind of, format. Yeah, because
that's very cool.
Corporate has its own, different, let's say states or different, operating, state, right? So
I mean,
a
lot of business,
a
in
lot
the
of
real
business
world have a cash flow, have a stable kind of business model, and NFT just basically solve the kind of authentication, right?
And also solve the, I would say it's a proof of owning different assets. If you own different assets, if you own two cars, right? For example, this car is different from another car, so you better represent it from using two different NFTs. So it actually gives you kind of a proof or certificate of owning a real assets. So that's maybe another, very big, very, very big market for NFTs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just let me remind of our community members. So as you probably just either joined earlier or just now, I'm talking to Eraser from SevenX Ventures, and here is Hao from Moledao, and we're doing this for our workshops for this recently launched NFT themed hackathon. So just now, Eraser just mentioned very interesting and mind-blowing projects, which essentially thinking about any real-world application like car rental business that can be NFTs and designed as a very useful and I would say effective way to manage your proof of your ownership and essentially getting financial benefits out of it. You can sell it, you can trade it. I mean, think about the market is just one simple example. There are a lot of other areas. If you have an expertise into this, welcome to join our hackathon. And it's just launched, and follow us on the YouTube and Twitter, Moledao. Okay. So lastly, I think we're coming to probably 9 o'clock, but really want to hear you. Let's say any cases that you have seen or projects which looks interesting or could be interesting for us or inspirational for maybe some of our community members that they can either challenge or take it to the next level. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I would say two things. So first one, I won't be, taking too much time on that, but everybody can check that out. It's called Weirdo Ghost Gang. So it's kind of like it's a PFP project. It's a collectible project. But it's very interesting, and it's coming out from I would say it's the #1 real Chinese-based PFP projects coming from a bunch of very ambitious young guys. And
I
check
see.
this out. And you know, people in the audience, maybe it's not a financial advice, but if you
Sure.
like the arts, if you love to know more about how the community gathered together to support those the PFP projects, I think you will find it very interesting. So to me, they actually use a very great community building mechanism to actually help the project. That is, they actually start something called secret movement or secret or steals movement. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, each of the week on a certain day, people in the community, Discord community, all going out to find out what is the next step, or kind of like a puzzle, right? Find out the puzzle and try to solve a very interesting question. And you can see a lot of different, let's say, hints, right? So something like a screenshot from a movie, something like a song, like how do you understand a lyrics from a song, and try to find some little hints from there and try to complete the puzzle and then find out the answer to this secret movement, and you can win a whitelist, right? So it actually create a huge hype. Every day I see a lot of community participants going out to find out, wow, what is this? What's the answer to this question, right? So what
I see.
So
that's like a game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a game, and it's kind of like a community-owned, decentralized game mechanism, right? So basically, if that's my suggestion. So if you are doing a kind of a PFP projects, or let's say collectible projects, try to find a way to engage your community. That's the only I would say the only important thing to make it successful as a PFP project. Yeah, art is definitely good. Art definitely, right? You need to be good, right? But it's not the art that separates Bored Ape Yacht Club from CryptoKitties, right? It's the participation of the community. How like it's a culture, it's a community culture. So you cannot say that the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the ape there is drawn very perfectly, right? Or it's a masterpiece of art for the apes. I don't see it as a masterpiece of art, right?
No, not at all.
So why it was like 100 is for that art? It's not the art. It's the community. It's the participation. It's a culture involved into that. So when you are doing a PFP project, be sure to hold on to your culture. So what types of culture, what culture are you expressing using your NFT, right? What type of community you are uniting with your PFP projects? So think about this and try to find out ways of to engaging the whole community to do things together. That's the real secret sauce of building a PFP project. That's the first case study, I would say. And the second one is something that we invested recently, but it's not coming out yet in the market. It's basically not an NFT project. It's a technology. So we call it dynamic NFTs. So right now, NFTs are actually, if you buy an NFT, you own a piece of, let's say, artwork or a video, right? Even something that is like there, right? It's like fixed. But dynamic NFT is something very unique, that it's a kind of program. So what's inside the NFT is not only a piece of art or video, it's a piece of code, or I would say a program that's sealed inside an NFT. And that program can change, that actually can compute, right? And change the output if you change the input. So it will use another like a Oracle, actually like Chainlink, to give input of some like data sources, and the NFT will actually evolve or change according to the data input and produce something that is very different. For example, they had their first case, like it's a showcase, right? So it's kind of like a model standing in front of a wall. And if the Ethereum price keep on going up for 3 days, the model will actually smile, and the weather becomes
really?
yeah,
Okay.
and it's automatically changed. And if Ethereum price dropped for 3 days, the model will cry, and it will become rainy. The weather will become rainy, and it's just a showcase, just to show about the technology. But think about the future of this technology. It's very, very disruptive. For example, if you have, let's say, a in-game assets of a sword, right? A sword.
Yes.
You try to use a sword to kill some zombies, right? So basically, you can kill, for example, if there's a rule in the game says that if you kill 100 zombies, your silver sword will ultimately upgrade it to gold, right? So without the dynamic NFT technique, there's only two things you can do. One is that very, very centralizedly, the game owner will change your picture of that sword, because the sword is an NFT. You cannot control your NFT. Your NFT controlled by yourself, right? So only thing they can do is change the metadata, or change the picture, and change it from a silver sword to a gold sword, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And the second thing you can do is actually, when you reached the 100 zombie, right? You stake your silver sword into a smart contract, and a new smart contract will mint you a new kind of like a golden sword, right?
I see.
So but with the technology of dynamic NFT, it can automatically change according to your numbers. The only thing you need to set up is, okay, there is a line of code written in that NFT says that if you reached 100 kill, right, the system will automatically upgrade the NFT to a new not golden NFT, right? So actually it gives a lot of different,
that's very cool,
imagination of use cases in different locations, different use cases.
That's very cool. I mean, Eraser, exactly. I mean, that really kind of give us all the imaginations, and also what could be the cases, even small challenge for our hackathon participants, or if you got anything that's, just check the YouTube. We just basically point out, it's called the weird scan, weird ghost
Weirdo ghost
right?
again. Weirdo ghost again. Weirdo ghost again.
And looks very cool. I mean, actually, it doesn't feel any kind of scary at all. Even at night.
And the second one is called Accursed Shares. It's more kind of like a technical company. It's a tech company.
So they provide the technology to do the dynamic NFTs, right?
Later on, maybe this year, and they already released some, like the first NFT I described about the model standing in front of wall. That is already released, but they will change it to a universal platform that everyone can mint a dynamic NFT according to your need. So that will be a huge challenge. So the team is busy developing the whole platform.
Cool. That's very cool. I mean, anyone who wants to take the challenge on the technology side, do really follow us. And I do really think Eraser today has given us a very interesting, from a story in Africa, seeing all those currency drop, and to his experience with the BTC white paper, kind of like, given that his background is computer science, right? So it's not difficult. I mean, just a 9-page of the white papers, right? So easily cracked. Become the early LC adopter and the priest for Bitcoin, right? Later, kind of a really kind of a hard, I would say, bear market, 2018, 19. But what's really important, I think, one thing I really want everybody to take away is NFT is just the beginning. If you find yourself just join the party, don't worry about that. I think I would say, pointed out one thing: the world is either NFT or FTs. Think about how the reality, how the real world we are currently living in is going to have some digital representations, and that will be huge. And that will be huge for everybody to enjoy, create, and build. So I'm going to see if there's any questions from the community side, and let me just quickly check. So, my daughter just got a question on when I can finish this, so I can answer that. Don't bother, Eraser. I will answer that to my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, we got one. I think it's probably one of guys thinking about so I think this guy has a question regarding, let's say there's a lot of NFTs, as you mentioned, which from an investor perspective don't really have a lot of times and perhaps the energies to stay up nights to look at those. And what I mean, so most of these, I would say, NFT minting projects, etc., has been participated by the, I would say, the younger generations, right? So, I mean, how sustainable do you think that could be? I mean, is this the only?
Yeah, it's a real good question. I've been thinking about it. So I would say definitely right now this business model is not sustainable. I have to say that. Yeah, but later on, I'm thinking about maybe a new, more sustainable way of issuing NFTs. Not like today, it's like a lot of competition for the whitelist, a lot of people, or even right now there are studios help you to get whitelist, right? So
is it
if
called the scientists? Are they called?
Yeah, they are called scientists, or even other studios like help you to draw. Like for example, some of the projects they actually require you to draw something, like draw a picture, right? To win a whitelist. And like there are studios, like a lot of artists, a lot of painters actually help you to draw. And help you to win a whitelist as long as if you pay them the money, right? So basically, I don't think it's a healthy market. It's a healthy minting process for the projects. I'm expecting something more, I would say, like a new different type of auction, not the Dutch auction, but a new types of maybe hybrid way of auction, or maybe something that is like a fair launch of airdrops, or you do not need to actually compete with each other. All you need to do is actually contribute something to contribute something that is meaningful to the whole marketplace, right? Or something like I don't know, something like a proof of art, or proof of taste, something like this, right? So I mean right now I understand the question. I mean, I don't see it very sustainable right now. So we're all waiting for a new, more fair launch of NFT minting. And definitely what my suggestion is, do not participate in those two crazy projects for minting. Maybe you can win some money from like primary market to secondary market, but it's not a great project for holding.
That's right.
See all those blue chips, right? Right now, those blue chips, Bored Yacht Club, Punks, right? And Judos or Cool Cats, right? So all those blue chips at the beginning is not so like crazy.
No.
It's not like the value shows in the long term, right? So Bored Yacht Club, they all have like at least 1 year of history, right? So definitely buy the depth, buy the blue chips, and participate in something that is not so crazy. Because when you see craziness happen, you'll definitely see a hype, and the hype will definitely break one day, So that's my suggestion if you want to participate in this huge game. So definitely buy blue chips and try to buy something or try to mint something you really like or really love. Do not participate in the hype.
Exactly. Just don't go NFT for the money, for your passion, for your love. and that's where you can hold it through the bear market. I think that's very, very, I would say, a fair suggestion. Hopefully someone who can help build some projects, getting this NFT minting process more fair and more reasonable, so that we don't need to stay up too late. I think definitely, Eraser, I think you should invest, right?
Yeah, sure. If someone actually work out a new technique or a new kind of proposal or a new consensus, let us know about it. Definitely, I will invest.
Okay. Everybody hear about that? Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I think today, given the time, we are almost running out of time, but really, I think Eraser has offered very valuable and interesting story together with a very deep insights into this. Hope everybody enjoy this. So thank you again, Eraser Li from the 7X Ventures, a leading venture crypto firms in China, but investing globally. I've met quite a few of their team members and leaders. Really impressive. And hope to see you again in our finale. So give us more feedback. Thank you so much.
Thanks, audience. Thanks, Hal, for inviting me. Hope everything goes well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.